Hey, so got some house cleaning items to put out there while I'm sitting waiting. I want to put out my whys because I don't believe a lot of people understand exactly what I do for a living. Um, One, why? Why do I post every single load that I pull and show the dollar amount? Well, I do so because one, when I was trying to figure trucking out, when I would talk to drivers, they never want to tell you what their rate is because they think you trying to count their pockets as opposed to do market research. There was one person, Peanut, when I was in Allstate, I was still in school, and whenever drivers was on trucks, I would go to the trucking company across the street, and Peanut definitely gave me a container rate sheet way back. This is like about 12 years ago. That was my first person that I went to ask questions, and he gave me advice. And still do to this day sometimes. He got decades in trucking. And also to give you a realistic idea of what's happening now. It's more real when you see it done by individual. So seeing is believing. You make believers out of showing them your work, not telling them. Why do I post a load board every morning? Well, I post a load board every morning because unless you have an MC or a DOT number, you're not going to be able to log in and check out real market rates as today. I hate to say it, guys. I'm sorry that it's not 1993 and diesel is not $1.10 a gallon anymore, but this is the reality of today. So I like for people to be able to see and get real numbers in today's market, not what it was, not what you wish it was, what it actually is in your different areas. So when I first started, I was showing all Baltimore loads, local, regional, and long haul, and I did so because that's where I'm from, and all my marketing dollars was spent in Baltimore, and they still are to a degree. However, it's people that tune in all across the country. So I chose the four biggest cities: New York, Chicago, LA, and Houston. And I do a 450-mile radius so you can get a larger grasp of what's happening in the country as a whole. I don't have time to sit down and do, a 30 city market research every morning. That's time consuming. What else? Why do I show my memories and refresh my memories and repost my memories every day on Facebook Marketplace? Well, excuse me, not Facebook Marketplace, but Facebook rather. Well, I do so because for me, I like to monitor my progress every morning so I can see what was I doing, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, to make sure that I'm not running in circles and not making any progress. So I mainly do it for me, and if you don't repost them, then as time goes on, they'll fade away and they won't pop up in your memory category. So that's why I do that. As I'm transitioning into this next phase or the next level or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be focusing less on showing my loads because I think I've already proved that what I'm saying is legitimate. I've consistently over time showed y'all a steady income through trucking. So if there's any doubters by now, then this information is just not for you. But I'm going to be focusing more on load securement because there's people interested in trucking, but people want to get in the dry van. They're scared of flatbed because they think it's dangerous or they never did it before. It's not that hard. Once you get out there and start doing it, you catch a hang of it real quick. So as this year is approaching, I will be showing you more load securement. I got my device coming. It's like a camera, so I gotta learn how to use it. Then I upload the stuff and show y'all that. But for anybody who don't understand why I show my loads, why I show the load board, why I repost my memories every morning, or just in general, why I'm doing this whole entire thing. Or just to touch on that, it's a part of my personality. I'm a giver. So anybody who've ever contacted me or come in contact with me rather, I'm always giving stuff away. I give stuff away at random. Um, Everybody that come in contact with me benefits in some type of way. That's how I set up my life. And it's an innate part of my personality. That's just who I am. Even when I was doing wrong, I thought I was helping people because I thought I was helping people making money by giving them drugs. I didn't know any better at the time. Now I do. So I help people by giving them information on trucking in different areas of life. But this is the main tool that I use because it's an immediate answer to the problem of not having money or not having enough money. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year trucking, and I keep showing y'all this, but I can show y'all what's going on here. You refresh this page. I can show y'all at will over $500,000 in factoring solo. And so a lot of these guys, like if you look right here, you see $504,000 in the last 12 months. That's from December to December solo. So a lot of these guys that's complaining, they talking about trucking is dead. They they cursing freight brokers and all of this. They just doing something wrong because the same loads that I do have added up to over $500,000 in the year time frame by myself. No, it's not back in the day. This ain't the glory days of trucking, but it is what it is, and you got to make the most of it. So I never knew anybody who complained their way to success. It just don't work like that. You got to get out there, get your knuckles dirty, and do what you got to do. So for all y'all that's interested in trucking and you listening to these guys that's having a bad time, I tell you who these guys are. They either got into trucking because it was hot at the moment and bought overpriced equipment, and they got these notes, and then they got a dry van which pays less, so they got high overhead, low income, and maintenance is coming and they can't handle it, and instead of taking responsibility for their own actions, they cursing trucking. Or the other type, you got the boss, which I love them. They don't want to get a CDL. They want to buy a truck, put somebody in it, and they think that they're just going to have flocks of local, loyal drivers to run their company for them while they kick their feet up and don't drive. That's not the case. The biggest issue in trucking, if it was one, is finding and keeping good drivers. And if you do find a really, really, really good driver, he's working really, really, really hard because he wants to save up and buy his own truck or her truck. And then when they leave, you stuck with a truck that you can't drive, that you're having difficulty finding a driver for. And by the time a month or two go by, maybe 3, you behind on your insurance. Okay, let's not forget about the maintenance from that last driver who tore your truck up, and you can't drive, so you're really only making pennies on the dollar, and now you hate trucking. So if you're going to do it, get your own truck and trailer, activate your authority, run it yourself, stack your money so you have a maintenance fund, and that's how you do it. Forget about having drivers. Some people are forced into those situations. That's different. But falling for that driver dream, a truck without a driver is like a gun without a bullet. It just looks shiny. You can't do nothing with it. Unless your trucks are paid off, I highly suggest not going out and trying to get financed trucks so you can scale to get drivers. I'm telling you, I speak from experience. And I speak from a point of view of somebody who talks to about 3,500 people in the trucking company that called me or have contacted me at some point. And I know all the issues all of them are going with, as well as the ones that I personally went through. So I don't speak from theory. I speak from practical, real life experience. So you can do what you want to do. It's up to y'all. But the money is still out here. You just got to work hard for it. Dry vans are the most common type of trailer, which means there's more competition, which means if you don't take a load, somebody else will. A lot of people don't want to do flatbeds because it requires a little physical work, which means there's less drivers doing it, which means there's less competition, which goes back to what I always talk about, supply and demand. The less of something you have, the more valuable it is. And so there you have it. So don't let these guys get out here. They either old and crying about how it used to be. It's not then. Pounds of reefer is not $600 no more. For the record, I don't deal in that type of stuff, but these guys paying thousands of dollars for it. Ain't nobody stop smoking reefer. Ain't nobody complaining about the reefer game so terrible. Y'all make a way, right? So it's the same thing. This ain't back in the day. This is now. You got to look at what's available, make the best decision for yourself, and make it all add up. So I ain't going to hold y'all. I hope y'all getting a clearer understanding of what I do and why I do it, because my purpose is to show people that there's a different way to make money without breaking the law and still achieve the same result that you desired from breaking the law. You can still dress nice, you can still drive nice, you can still eat nice, you can still travel and do all the stuff that you wanted from the game without breaking the law and without the consequences of sitting in prison. And for the ones who not interested in trucking because they don't want to be away from home, how much time are you away from home when you're in the junk? But when they come to that, yeah, say, I got to do what I got to do. But when it come to going on the road, it's a problem. But you'll go sit in the junk for 7 years, 15 years, 20, or even longer, depending on, what type of activity you was involved in. So I ain't going to preach to y'all, but you can't say I ain't tried. I had to put the information out there for free. Thousands of y'all have called and talked to me for free and still do. And if you choose not to do it and to continue doing what you're doing, when you're sitting down the bookings, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Till next time, stay tuned. All right, have a blast down here. I overdid it because I'm going down here for work, actually. I wanted some peace and quiet so I can sit down and fine-tune my lecture so I can bring this live event to y'all. So stay tuned. I'll keep y'all updated. And till next time, peace.